How very powerful. Did it get you dancing in your seat? Have you done some chair dancing yet today? You totally need to. We all need to. We all need to do some chair dancing from time to time. I mean, if you want to get out of the chair, that's obviously cool too. But chair dancing, very important. You're getting some movement and you're getting in the flow, right? Music is a very important part of our life. It's all about vibration and energy. And it's a great way just to get into your flow, to do what makes you feel good. And you don't have to, trust me, you don't even have to know the right words. You can just sing along. I make it up as I go. I do it all the time. Ask my daughter. But I make it relevant. You know, I work it into things. Like there was this one song that she loved when she was in high school. And I just switched it out a little bit. I just changed it from Move Along. I think that's what it's actually called. Move along, move along, move along. So I switched it out to Mow the Lawn, Mow the Lawn, Mow the Lawn. Did that get her to mow the lawn? No, probably not so much. But I made it relevant, right? But music is so very important. If you are in the Sarnia-Lambton area, I highly recommend you pop into Bottoms Up on any Wednesday or Thursday night, and you will totally get what I'm talking about. You know, whether you're a musician or you're not, if you're a musician, that's great. It's an open jam. You can come and jam up front with everybody, a whole bunch of musicians. Some of them are professional musicians. Some of them have regular day jobs and they, might have a band on the side, or maybe they just do it alone. Maybe that's just their thing. But whether you're a musician or you just appreciate music, you should definitely come out. It's every Wednesday and Thursday. Live music. On Wednesday night, it's up in more of a stage atmosphere, where Thursday is a little bit more close and personal. They sit right at the tables with their guitars, and it's really an awesome, awesome thing. And I talk about meditating so much, and being involved in music is people's own way of meditating. Like, meditating isn't just sitting down, listening to music or guided meditation or whatever, just your thoughts, I don't know, whatever people do in their own heads. Meditating is also when you're getting in the flow with the music. If you're a painter, when you paint. If you're a knitter, when you knit. Whatever it is that makes you feel good, whatever it is that helps you just get in that zone. You watch those famous musicians on their videos, and you can tell when they're in their zone. You can tell when nothing else matters but their instrument and their body and the whole thing encased in one. It is a very magical moment, and you don't have to be a musician to appreciate that, because you can see it and you can feel it. When, it's like, I don't go to church, but even when you go to a church, because I've been in one before, so even when you go into church and they're doing their hymns and all that stuff, there's a love in the air. It's the vibration. It's the whole thing. It's the energy with the people and the music and the whole thing. And it's just so powerful. And so it's very important that you tap into that. I cannot imagine a life without music. I just can't even imagine how that could be. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has, in every culture, they have their kind of music, their thing that they're into. And it's very important that you tap into that. And whatever you're doing, crank those tunes in the background. Bust a move from time to time. Do whatever it is that makes you feel good. So one of the things that makes me feel good, because I know you were just wondering, hey, Michelle, what makes you feel good? Oh, thank you for asking. What makes me feel good is sharing good news. And there's so much good stuff going on in the world. I actually shared something earlier this week that Sweden, I'm always mocking when I say that we have a first world country, because we do, but we don't. On so many different levels, all the other countries are just so advanced to us. They really are. For example, Sweden has opened a shopping mall just for recycled products, like a shopping mall. How cool is that? So it's a whole mall. People submit items for restoring, staff repair them, and then they sell them again in the mall. right? All the businesses in the mall must be environmentally friendly, which is very cool. And if they buy any new products, they have to be organic or climate friendly. It's created 50 jobs and contains a training college for studying. Like, this is what we need to click into, is the fact that the world's changing and there's not as many traditional jobs as there is people. So this is where we have to look outside the box. We have to think of something different. Think of something new. So what a unique idea that is. It provided employment. It's recycling. So we're looking after like so many things at the same time. Absolutely awesome. But it all starts with thinking outside the box. You know, you can call it whatever that we have our closed way of thinking quite often. You know, we think hours equal money. We think so many different things. And we need to just open that up and think, you know what? We need to get back to some old school thinking. We need to, open up our hearts to other people, be more encompassing of other people's needs, and just see, as the world is changing, what can you do to change with it and to make sure you still have an income, right? Because everything is just so different now. We need to start going back to some basics. So on that note, let's look at the good news. What's going on? So there's some bad stuff, but then good stuff comes from it too, right? For example, after Hurricane Irma ravaged the South Florida landscape in 2017, an 18-year-old took it upon himself to protect and preserve the environment. And he did it from the roof of his house. Though the tropical storm wreaked havoc on buildings and properties, Theo Queenie was primarily shocked by how many mangroves had been damaged by the tropical storm. Mangroves are an essential part of a marine ecosystem. In addition to providing a healthy and complex habitat for fish, sharks, and turtles, they also protect the coastline from erosion. After the hurricane, there was a massive amount of mangrove seedlings mixed within the seaweed debris mixture, Queenie told Mother Nature Network. Everything was then going to be gathered and thrown in a truck to dump at a landfill. I realized that all of South Florida would ultimately kill thousands of mangroves in the cleanup process. As a means of rehabilitating the local mangrove forests, Queenie started growing mangrove seedlings from the roof of his home. Queenie, who is a freshman at Florida International University, built a greenhouse on his roof so the little trees could get a sufficient amount of sunlight and humidity. Then he filled the greenhouse with 524 seedlings that were separated into individual yogurt buckets. After 7 months of nursing the seedlings, Queenie and his friends moved the plants to a mud flat in Miami, where they will soon grow into a healthy mangrove forest. Some officials passed me when I was planting them, and they were so happy to see me doing this, Queenie told MNN. My hope in doing so was to create a nursery for all the sharks and fish that live in that location, but also help conserve the area from erosion. Very good. See, there's always going to be problems. That is, life, but we need to focus on solutions. That's where it's at. So very good. Good for him. Good for all of us to have great people in the world that are being proactive. So this is pretty cool. I don't know how much you know about palm oil, but a UK-based supermarket chain, Iceland, has announced that they will no longer be using palm oil in any of its 130 name brand product lines. Wow, that's going to hurt. The ban, which will go into full effect by the end of 2018, is expected to reduce demand by over 500 tons every year. Palm oil is one of the largest contributors to deforestation in Southeast Asia. While other corporate food brands have made efforts to certify their products as palm oil free, Iceland is the first major UK grocery store to ban the ingredient altogether. Currently, about half of the supermarket's products contain palm oil. Even though the ban may incur additional costs to the company, representatives say that those expenses will not be passed on to the consumer. Iceland Managing Director Richard Walker told the BBC, certified sustainable palm oil does not currently limit deforestation, and it does not currently limit the growth of palm oil plantations. So, until such a time as there is genuinely sustainable palm oil that contains zero deforestation, we are saying no to palm oil. Well, there you go. See, taking a stand, very important. And then our last one, I thought this was sort of interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see how this one goes. So we've been talking the last couple weeks about plastic. Plastic is a problem. The advantage of plastic, it's not destructible. The disadvantage of plastic, it's not destructible. This is the thing, it doesn't break down. Every single piece of plastic that's ever been made is still on our planet. It might be broken down into little bits that the fish are eating now, which is a terrible thing, but they're still on the planet. So we're learning about that and getting more proactive, and a lot of people are trying to have less plastic in their life. I can't remind you enough. It's a cancer-causing agent, so keep that in mind. This is interesting. Plastic straws have just broke the back of yet another global food chain. McDonald's announced on Wednesday that they would be joining the ranks of restaurants that are giving up plastic straws in favor of more eco-friendly alternatives. Starting in May, the company will be launching a paper straw pilot program in all 1,300 of the UK restaurants. Additionally, they will be keeping straws behind the counter and only handing them out upon customer request. Ditching straws is the next step towards the company's sustainability goals. McDonald's chief executive, Paul Pomeroy, told Sky News the reduction in use of plastics is a hugely important issue for business, for the sector, and for society. We've been on a journey over the last 10 years with recycling, from taking out foam to where we are now, with Big Mac clam boxes that are made with recycled board. The only thing left for us to move forward on are the lids that go onto our cups. Those are complicated, but we're working with our suppliers to find a solution to that. We're really close, so we hope within the next year to be able to have a lid that's recyclable and serves the same purpose for hot and cold drinks. So that's really interesting. Now, I can't really wrap my head around a paper straw because once it gets wet, it's going to go mushy. And if they line it with wax, there's plastic in that too. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. You know, just because people are coming up with solutions doesn't mean they're all good ones, but we got to wean through them, right? It's like anything. You just keep trying and trying and trying, and eventually we will figure it out and it will come together. So there you go. That's your good news for today. I hope you enjoyed it. All of those articles will be posted on the Positive Power Facebook page for you to check out at your convenience. So let's go back to a couple more tunes, and then we will be going back to the stream for a half an hour before Chuck starts with his country show from 1 till 4. If you're a country music fan, you're going to want to definitely check that out.